Coming at you live from DNHQ2 in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is Blue Heaven Podcast postgame sort of thing. Hey! I don't know why I did that. You know what? I did that for Kenley's recent outings. What's going on, Dodgers Nation? It's your boy. My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram.
On the internet.
Find me on the internet as Real FRG.
It's Twitter.
Why don't you tell them who the hell you are?
I'm Brooke. You can find me as at BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram, also known as the internet.
This is very true.
Yes, sir.
By the way, this podcast is powered by the Overtime Podcast Network. That's very important. We got to point that out. On today's show, we're gonna of course recap the game that just happened right now. That's pretty important stuff. We see the stream. You guys are going live. You're going wild. I get it. I get it. Crazy. Today's show, starting pitching, is kind of becoming a strength. I feel confident in saying that. We talked to our friend of the show, Mr. Tim Rogers, about Rich Hill's rehab outing in Rancho, or for Rancho.
Mr. Rogers on the show.
Mr. Rogers in the flesh. Yet another wonderful Blue Heaven tweet of the week. Plus our pregame coverage today with KTLA Channel 5. So before we get started, we do gotta, you guys see it up over here. I think it's in that corner, right? Over that corner. Give a shout out to our partner at sportscaster.com. At Sportcaster, you can be the star of your own show with built-in studio graphics and you know, you could sound, you could be a real broadcaster. So check them out. Sound like a pro. Sportscaster.com. That is CASTR.com. So live stream. While we start getting your questions, I already see our boy Adrian Gonzalez in the stream over there on YouTube. What's going on, man?
How you going?
Let us know where you guys are representing Dodgers Nation tonight. Give us those area codes. I already see Kevin in Oregon. What's going on? We got hello from Houston, Lawrence. Who you got? You got any crazy Verdugo's throw? Matt Jennings on Facebook. Verdugo's throw was awesome. 1,000%. The cannon on that dude is just insane.
Someone should start that guy or something. One would think. You know?
I think.
What do I know? I'm just a.
I think. I mean,
I'm not anything.
Hashtag analysis.
I was on KTLA today.
Matt Muncy says, find a new closer. We'll get into that a little bit. Matt Muncy in the flesh
if
on
that's
Periscope.
His real name.
Henry, I see a couple of them. We got Henry on Facebook saying Julio was on tonight. Julio looked great because he knew he was kind of fighting for his starting gig in a way.
We got to Ray Barsamian saying that Jansen looks fully recovered. Big win, 4 straight now. Maybe we can put together a 10 game.
Did you pre-type that?
I don't think he looks, fully recovered if you're talking about like back to last year. Yeah, he looks like he's back to last year's form. Let's say that. Yeah,
he started out really, really good. And then now the last, 3 or 4 outings, he just hasn't. He struggles against teams that have former teammates. That's what it seems to be.
His feelings are hurt.
Feelings are very,
that's what it is.
Very hurt. What else we got? I see Oregon again. We got 209 NorCal, 661 Nipomo. California, what's going on? Colleen.
We got a lot of Northern California kids in here today.
We also got it. Live from San Pedro, what's going on? And hello, Fresno. So,
San Pedro.
Charles, 562 Whittier. That's a good spot. Man, Louisville, Kentucky, too. We got a good stream going on tonight, guys. So let's really.
We are Mr. and Mr. Worldwide.
Yes.
You're welcome for that.
Game recap. Give me the key notes. What are the highlights of the game?
The highlight is
obvious.
That Julio, in his final start, as it were, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, which I did not realize until he was already out of the game.
Yeah.
Gave up 1 hit and a career-high 9 strikeouts. Also walked 2, and, the kid was lights out, wasn't he?
On that 1 hit, I saw some people on the internet giving Alana a little bit of a bad time because I think she kept bringing up that it was like a no-hitter for so long. It doesn't. You can't
imagine
jinx
having
it.
the control from your own couch to dictate whether or not a professional pitcher gives up a base hit. Imagine that kind of power you could wield.
Can I like jinx myself into the Powerball number or something like that?
Like, might guess the right numbers this week. Yeah.
Talk about your boy Belly.
Belly, man. I told you. I feel like week after week, it's me coming onto this podcast and reminding you about that one time you were very wrong. I love it. It's the highlight of my week. I get out of bed. I fly out of bed on Thursday mornings. There's birds chirping. You know, I'm like a Disney princess. They help me put on my clothes and everything. It's wonderful. Cody Bellinger hits his MLB tying 10th home run. I mean, what are we halfway through April? April 18th? Is that what today is?
Yep. As of this live stream and as of this recording, yes, that is the very date.
Just past the halfway point in April, your boy's already got 10 home runs.
Yeah.
10. Yeah. I mean, he is just killing the ball. And this is with a alleged sore knee.
And then Muncy also. I mean, you got to look at that. You got him with 10, Belly with 10. You got Muncy now with what, 5? You also have Jock with 8.
8,
and he's not playing all the time.
No,
I don't know if anybody has the stats. Rick, if you're out there, even though you're like making your way home,
busy or something.
But
stupid Milwaukee.
If anybody has the stats on what his Jock's home run per at bat rate is, I'd love to see that. But the important thing is we're seeing a lot of that is Beth opened the stream with, should we be worried about Kenley? A lot of people worried about Kenley. Of course, I
think Kenley's worried about Kenley.
Joe Kelly's starting to get himself straightened out. It was pretty nice to see 2 back-to-back scoreless outings, but a huge save there in the gun show by Verdugo. Save that bacon.
Gun show, I like that.
Gun show, rifle, cannon. But that's what 3 of the last 4 outings I think where Kenley's allowed a run, whether they be
charged to him or not.
earned or not.
Right. One of them was the Kike blunder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was unearned. Okay, gotcha.
But if you're counting how many starts in a row he's allowed a run to cross the plate, wouldn't hold that one against him exactly. He should have gotten through that really easily.
Well, they don't. That's why it is unearned.
Yes.
They do not hold it against him.
The statistics line up, but he
point to me
today
for
missed
stats.
I would say all of his spots. I think every of the spots he missed them.
He's been missing his spots a lot. Like when Matt Kemp on was it the Friday game when Matt Kemp drove in the tying run, he hit the same spot. Kenley hit the same spot.
Yep.
Two pitches in a row, and both of them were wrong.
Yep.
Kemp looked foolish on the first one, and then he just poked one into no man's land on the second pitch. So I'm definitely starting to get a little, just the tiniest inkling of concern for Kenley, but he's not somebody to worry so much about.
He'll find it at some point.
LA Rams
he did
Club
last year.
LA Rams Club of New York says we need a closer before the playoffs, and perfectly timed here on the stream. Belly Bomb 35 on Periscope. Signed Craig Kimbrell.
That's a name I'm not familiar with. Who is that?
I have never heard
you ever
of
heard of that guy?
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
He was.
I hear she has a beard.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we can get the Red Sox closer Chris Sale. I hear he's he's not doing too hot either.
It's pretty lights out. Apparently, maybe we can throw a couple prospects their way.
We got AJ in the stream saying revolver.
Oh, like revolver. I get it, like a gun.
Yes, I get
pistola.
it. I'll give you. Oh, it made it even better, even more better. We're very proud of you. Jason back on Joe Kelly says Kelly looks horrible tonight and he just got saved. The stuff is there. The location still isn't there. I was earlier in the season ready to call the throw the panic switch on the Joe Kelly signing, but he's figuring it out. I was very happy that now 2 games in a row, Doc has just let him pitch 1 inning and then be happy with his performance. It's crazy how that works when you start to build confidence in your job.
I think when you're doing poorly, you just leave them out there and see how long they last before they die. I think that's the way it works.
Why'd you grab the bad ball?
Well, it was under the desk, and I was like, I like baseball. So.
Cool. It's very important stuff for the stream.
Catch during the podcast.
Hey, we got our boy South Central in the stream. He says, he's at Seinfeld Trivia. Wish him luck. Give that guy some luck. That's very important. That seemed like the right button. All right, what else we got? Let's get into some more of the good stuff. Ray asked, Bueller and Urias, or he says Bueller and Urias will be the next Koufax and Drysdale.
Oh.
Which I'm mostly stealing our producer's thunder in reading those, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to YOLO. I'm just saying. We'll bring her in. We'll bring her in later on in the show.
We got a Coach De Luca.
Coach De Luca 35,
33. I was concerned for Kenley during the Astros series, and I haven't stopped. And I feel that, man. I feel that deep in my soul. Ever since Game 2 when he gave up that home run, we should have had Game 2, man.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
I feel it, though, yeah. I definitely understand
because Janet's Day Off already won the
sure.
stream, because Janet's Day Off says Mary Hart is better than Front Row Amy. 100%.
That's not even a competition.
We have a rally Mary Hart, which is very, very important. So we look at this game, and it kind of brings us into our first real topic of the show, as we'll keep getting to everybody's questions about that and your crazy comments and whatever. I'm sorry, I can't help myself tonight. The starting pitching is really, really have they been good at their job as well.
Speaking of which, there's a Rich Hill commenting from Facebook. I think that's his actual name. It's not, obviously, he doesn't watch our show.
Oh, wait, I'm not going to go there.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Yeah, it tends to be the we'll say more seasoned crowd on Facebook. So that makes sense. It makes sense to see Rich Hill. Looking forward to getting you back real soon, Richie.
You're talking about the starting rotation suddenly being a source of encouragement and strength, and 100% they are. And I think a big part of that, obviously, you got Kershaw back. We'll see how that goes. We're still one game into it, so we don't really know how it's going to work out. But Walker Buehler finding his stuff, and Julio's obviously going to the bullpen. But I mean, talk about today. If he played every game like he played today, there's no way they could take him out of the starting rotation. Holy cow!
The starting pitching has really been electric since Sunday when we started this new winning streak. Stripling looked great. He threw 8 innings, gave up a run, and then that just really kicked it off from there. The worst start of the last 5 was Kershaw's 2 runs to Puig, and after that he ended up they give it up like 2 hits after,
lights out after
something
that.
like that. So having the numbers in front of me here. Mm-hmm. The last 5 starts, which have totaled 36 innings, I believe now, 34 innings. It's a ERA just a hair over 1 out of the starting rotation. And then you look all of a sudden, Kenley Jansen aside, you look all of a sudden at the bullpen getting right, getting healthy, feeling better, because they're not pitching in the 4th inning.
When you got your starting pitchers going deep into the game instead of coming out in the 3rd or 4th inning, you got some time to rest. You got some time to work guys on. You don't have to work them on back-to-back days. You can come in every other day, rested, ready to go. Instead of, let's throw Joe Kelly in there every day because, well, he's giving up runs. Let's just see if he can find it. And our starting pitchers aren't going deep, so let's see what happens. So that's a result of that. Bullpen will definitely get rested. Starting pitching is getting healthy again, and then when that happens, I mean, when they're all healthy, we got Ryu coming back on Saturday, which is a shock to a lot of people, including ourselves, because
Rick Rajewski could not be any happier about that.
I can almost hear him shout from Milwaukee with joy and jubilee, as it were.
Anyway,
a very healthy starting rotation equals a very healthy bullpen.
Yeah,
a very healthy bullpen equals probably a good bullpen.
Although it's going to cost us the savior of the bullpen, Jamie Schultz, because ever since Schultz came up, bullpen has been pretty locked down.
Has he pitched?
Yeah, he's pitching like 3 games. You're thinking of Spores.
He pitched in 3 games?
Spores never appeared in a game.
I literally have not seen those 2 in the same room together, so I'm pretty sure they're the same person wearing
we saw them in the same room together in spring training.
Yeah,
but we're not
going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that.
We're supposed to be in
but this is the 5th straight quality start in a row, and there was only 4, I think, of the first 16 games. 4 out of the first 16 games were quality starts. So that is very, very plus stuff, and that helps the bullpen so much. Getting back into the stream, Love God, I'm assuming you're the Love God. Verdugo saved Kelly, and it was a team game. It was 100% a team game. Like, everybody had some part in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of game you want to see. You get to see how deep your roster actually is. Mm-hmm. It's not made up of just Cody Bellinger, believe it or not. Although,
even though he can't get loved by MLB or anybody on the internet.
MLB love. Gosh darn you, MLB.
Yeah, I heard you had a pretty big day on social media.
I did, yeah. People were very happy with my tweet. I haven't checked Twitter yet because obviously the game just ended, but Christian Yelich just hit that home run at the end of the game. I'm sure MLB had something to say about him because obviously he's the greatest on earth, et cetera, et cetera. But, they did post on Instagram about Cody Bellinger after he hit that home run. So I'm a little satisfied. But
you're the difference maker.
I still hate that everybody doesn't pay attention to West Coast sports for some reason. I don't know what the deal is there.
You're definitely the difference maker.
Is that what I am?
Billy Bomb says, sign Kimbrel and option Spores. I don't think that's going to happen. LA Rams Club of New York, Ryan Madsen is still out there.
He is still out there.
How dare you?
He is still out there.
That is painful. Jason, Cody is a stud. That's very important. He's a handsome fella. How excited are you to see Ryu coming back on Sunday?
I'm
Saturday.
I'm surprised they're throwing him in there without any kind of,
He didn't miss too much.
He didn't, but when you think about the fact that it's the same region of his body that was ripped from bone last season, you kind of think like we should probably still play this. Because, I mean, if you're saying he didn't miss that much time, that either that means obviously he doesn't need a rehab start or it's not really enough time to rest. I mean, if you have as many starting pitchers as you have, you kind of think we can afford to rest him a little longer. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they know more than we do. They are more closer to the situation, so he must be feeling great. I'm still nervous for it because I really would not like to see something worse happen with him. I wouldn't like to lose him for as long as we did last year. I think the Korean monster is the Korean monster this year, and he's going to be a huge part of the rotation, and he's going to be a big part of our success down the stretch and into the playoffs. And so I'd love to see the man healthy, but I'm excited to see him back for sure. Yeah,
he's going to be pretty important. I would give him that much. Coach DeLuca, 33. Corey Seager looks off, but it could be me overreacting. Do you think Corey's starting to get there? It feels to me like he's getting closer.
He's getting closer and closer to being there. I'm still probably like 2 weeks away from being worried about it or being nervous about it. I'm still going to give him time, guys. He's Corey Seager. He's going to find a way. He is very skinny. That's the only thing I'm really worried about is the fact he's very skinny. I think they stopped feeding him the team meals after the game, actually.
Now, see what happens when you don't eat cheese? You don't hit any more dingers.
Just stop hitting
cheese equals dingers.
Dairy is important, guys.
Look at all of the dingers that Cody has hit this year.
He eats a ton of ice cream.
My boy all that ice cream plus pizza that he makes himself in the oven. I'm just saying he does a good job.
Excellent cook.
So Strange, a lot of numbers, says Kimbrel has lowered his asking price. I did not know that. I did not see that. Oh wait, no, I did see that. We actually put a post out about that. I remember that because I looked at it. But I think he's looking for like something in the middle of what Zach Britton got and what somebody else got. I forget who.
Zach Britton. And,
it's still not going to happen. Kimbrel's not going to come here because Kenley's not going to pitch the 8th and Kimbrel's not going to pitch the 8th. It's just not going to happen. It's unfortunate.
Those guys are meant to close games, both of them. So they're going to, it's a personal thing, guys. You got to understand this. When you've had this role for a certain amount of time, unless you're really blowing it, you're probably not going to lose that role. And so I don't see Kimbrel ever coming here. And if he did, remember, he's probably months away.
Yeah.
2 months at the most likely, maybe a month.
He's probably throwing. I think he's about a month. Isn't he a Boris guy?
He is, which means he's definitely throwing somewhere.
Scott Boras paid for a whole ass team for him to pitch against.
He did, yeah. But when you're that guy, when you're getting thrown in those high leverage situations, you can't mimic that. There's no way to do that to get game ready like that. And isn't it so weird? It's April and Craig Kimbrel doesn't have a job and Dallas Keuchel doesn't have a job. That's the weirdest thing.
Wrong.
It's such a weird year,
so very
man.
Wrong. But I do have openings on my team on Wednesday nights for softball. Sorry, Gary.
If Keuchel wants a gig, you think Keuchel can play shortstop left-handed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen much more worser players, as we say in the league.
Much better.
Try to play. I played shortstop last night, and my shoulder, was barely there. So it works,
bro.
I played some shortstop. Very, very, very important comment here from YouTube. Big Blue D, nice name. Hey guys, great show. Hello from 806 Amarillo, Texas. What's going on? Amarillo. I feel like our producer has some questions for us. How you feeling? Make sure everybody can hear you and that you sound glorious and magical.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, I think everyone can hear me.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Give us some more stuff from the stream.
Okay, so Jonathan Charles said, what are some positions or people we need to trade for before a trade deadline?
What are some positions we need to trade for? I'd like to fill up the bullpen a little bit more. Obviously, we're going to need to wait on that and see kind of what happens. And I really think once the starting rotation gets better, we're not going to need to fill that position. In terms of the field, I think we're solid on outfield. We don't need anybody there. We don't need any infielders. I think if I had to pick a position to fill, I would probably fill Russell Martin's position. And that's just because I don't know if he's going to be healthy for the rest of the year. Because he's already been out longer than they expected him.
Yeah.
And so I don't want... This is going to sound absolutely awful. And I mean no disrespect to David Freeze's son, but I don't think Rocky Gale should be the backup option to Austin Barnes for the playoffs, guys. I don't like that.
Yeah, and this is where we actually our boy Tim. We're gonna bring him in. We're gonna bring in Tim in a minute. He's not yet, so sorry if you hear yourself, Tim, or you hear your name, but you're not ready yet. Tim had brought this up on our DodgersNation.com that Will Smith probably should be the guy who got the call because now you're just burning Barnesy into the ground. and you shouldn't be doing that. The tandem of him playing like 4 games and then Russell getting 2 or whatever it is really, really was working. But again, that's like you're saying, you have an old man catcher. Maybe you need to, I hear the Brewers catcher's on a 1-year deal.
Oh, what's his name?
Never
Have you heard of him?
Never heard of him. What else you got? What else you got? Producer T.
Okay, Bellybomb35 said, when Urias is in the pen, he can be a high leverage guy. What are your thoughts on that?
He showed it in the last time Urias and the team was in Milwaukee. That's when the big time catch happened. That was CT3's glorious catch, and we relived it, by the way, on our DodgersNation.com. I'm a corporate shill. But yeah, it was a really cool moment, obviously, in the game, but it's super cool to relive it. And that was the last time we were in Milwaukee, and it was
You were there?
I was there. We were there. All of us were there in spirit. Julio was able to get the big innings when they counted.
Yeah.
And I think he can really do a lot for the back end of this bullpen, although that's not what I want in my heart of hearts. He's not ready to throw 200 innings.
No. Yeah, I would agree. He's definitely a guy that could be that high leverage starter, though. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that above most guys in the bullpen, actually, except Dylan Floro. Somebody give that guy the ball, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
Where's he
Dylan
been?
Floro, who is
a man with no face and now no playing time.
one of 2 players in baseball right now, 2 relief pitchers that have thrown 9 innings and not allowed to run. It's him and that weird, like...
Melon cone.
Something about Melanson just throws me off. Anyways, what else you
like
got?
A serial killer, that's why.
Oh, anyways, yeah, also, I want Will Smith up. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Okay. Great takes, guys. Okay.
Getting jiggy with it over here.
Yeah, we are. Stephen Latner said, should Roberts limit Kelly to 1 batter?
No, not 1 batter.
He's got to get him used to the new rule.
I don't feel like 1 batter. I do feel like 1 inning. 1 inning is all Joe should be pitching right now until he's ready. Let him do 1 inning. Let him do the back-to-backs, which I think he did this. This was his back-to-back. So I would much, much, much more prefer to see that. You have anything on Mr. Kelly?
I concur.
Thank you. That's very important.
Doctor.
Yeah, I think Barnesy, he got a hit or whatever last tonight, but Barnes, since Martin went down, I think he's like 0-for, or he's like 2-for or something like that. Like Barnesy's really carrying the weight. So Russell, get well soon, please.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough gig being behind the plate every single day, and I mean you can't rely on Rocky Gale, guys. Does he have 3 career hits or something like that?
Yes, but no.
He got his first one with the Dodgers.
But yes.
Yeah, but Austin's hitting like 150 in this month, and
right.
No bueno.
Let's move on. Let's bring up our good friend, our guest, Mr. Tim Rogers, friend of the show. Welcome back, Tim.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, man. So you were living the high life last night, and we both pulled the late night shift to get out a really, really what I thought was a great piece on the outing for Rich Hill at Rancho. So 4 innings, 2 hits, I think it was, and he struck out everybody.
He did, yeah. Like
one, and the first hit was a bunt.
Wow, whack. Break up the no-hitter with a bunt.
Whack.
So
Cowards.
And we found out it was A.J. Ellis on the bench that called that.
Oh.
Unacceptable.
That sounds about right. Yeah. That sounds about
right.
Yeah,
of course.
Friggin' Cray J.
So, I mean, you were there at the game. You obviously got to see Mr. Rich Hill live in action. He didn't hit, though. Which was
a total loss, but
what a travesty to the entire sports world to not let Rich Hill hit off a minor league pitcher.
Probably
could have taken him yard, man, and he would have sprinted around those bases with those T-Rex arms. It would have been beautiful. But
you should have asked him about his hands. Like, what's the deal?
What's the deal with those hands?
Oh, no.
I'm sure you would have got punched in the throat.
Yeah.
So
he's a big dude, man. He's 6'5".
Oh yeah, he's all limbs too, man. Like top to bottom, he's limbs. So, number one, how did his curveball look? Because I heard that he was utilizing it pretty well.
It was awesome. I mean, he even from the in the bullpen where he's grunting away, literally grunting. You could see the curveball in there, and then the curveball during the game. I mean, those poor single A guys had no chance against it. He was throwing his curveball around 74, 75, which is around normal. And then mixing it in with a fastball coming in at 92, that's, 15 to 17 miles an hour speed difference. It's pretty darn good.
Man, he is just leaving Kershaw behind right there. He's leaving him behind in the fast lane.
And he's got like 9 years on him.
I know, no kidding.
What was the atmosphere like out there for? Oh, what was it at Lake Elsinore? I think it was last night.
Yeah, there was definitely more Dodger people out there.
Of course.
They were supporting, typical down in Padre area. Even though there was a couple idiots when there was a rally going by the Storm saying beat LA.
Wow, they're just trying.
They're like, we're from Rancho.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah,
we're from Inland Empire.
It's a great ballpark. For the fans, they're able to get right up there. Watch the bullpens, sit in the front row while Rich is pitching or whoever. I mean, the Padres had their guy Mackenzie Gore pitching, who our boy, the 30th prospect hit a Carlos Rincon hit a bomb off their number 2 prospect.
There you go.
So that was pretty sweet. Hill was, he just after that first batter, he was so dominant. He struck out 8. He said really 2 hits, one of them being a bunt. No walks, just make him look silly. So I think he's ready. But I saw Ken Gernick's post that he's going to do another start.
In the minors on Monday, I think it is.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you with that too, Tim. Were you surprised to see that, considering just sheer domination at the minor league level?
Yeah, and he, in the interview afterwards, he was fired up. He's ready to go. I asked him, how many pitches did he think he could throw? And he said he's ready for 100.
Wow.
Because he's been doing the simulated games and everything.
Yeah, and we know he's been throwing. He really should be pretty close to ready. It's a knee. Just don't. He had the brace. Did he pitch with the brace last night?
He did. Yeah, he's going to keep that on.
Oh.
That was kind of a good. The bunt was kind of a good test for him with that brace. The guy was super fast, so the guy got on. But
right.
Yeah, the brace. He didn't seem bothered by it. Obviously his pitching wasn't bothered by it. With him, you can see the intensity. And he said it himself. It doesn't matter where he's pitching. He basically pitches like it's the last game he's ever going to pitch, and he knows what that how close that's come a few times.
No kidding, man.
He's his story of so many injuries and heartbreak and all that type of stuff, and for him to it doesn't matter to him where he's pitching. He's going all out. Even like I said in his interview, you can see the intensity. Dude's just fired up and loves the game.
I love that guy, man. I love Rich Hill. What a
gamer,
gamer, man.
He really is. He's become something of a cult hero for sure. Yeah. And we actually have, you were able to. Wait. First off, don't film vertically again next time. It's very important.
Yeah.
We're going to get you a cameraman.
We're going to strap it to your head.
Yeah.
Do the heads up thing. But yeah, you got a really good question in there, because obviously Rich Hill has sort of become the grandpa of Dodgers Twitter in a way. So let's hear that glorious question and answer from Mr. Richard Hill.
I want to ask one more question. It's a little different. Working for Dodgers Nation, you've become a very popular figure with the Dodgers fans, and just you've been embraced. Do you have anything you can maybe say just to the Dodger fans that that have embraced you?
Yeah, I love them. I love, look, we go out there and I say this every single time I get the opportunity, is that to bring that intensity for the fans, and they pay good money to come out and watch us play, so I want to bring everything that I can and give everything I can for them. So not only for them, but family and for our team to go out there and dominate, and again, you don't know when the last time is that you're going to have to be on the mound, so you got to give everything you can, and whether that's running down the base paths or look, you got to go hard, and that's I only have one gear, and that's it. So to show the fans and to keep giving them that intensity and that attitude is something that I know they appreciate, and just keep giving it to them.
That's super important stuff from Mr. Rich Hill, because he knows, and sorry, stream, it was a little bit low there on the volume. We tried to fix it in post, but it didn't quite work out. But still, you got to see at least the glorious that beard game or whatever. But like you said, Tim, just he's aware that the clock is ticking and that you never know which start's going to be your last. But yeah, he knows what he means to the fans and what, obviously what the fans mean to him, and it's definitely cool that to even be able to get a quote like that from him. It's had to have been fun for you too.
Oh, absolutely. A little, it's kind of one of the big adventure there for me of getting in there. I wasn't sure I was going to ask that question, but it felt like the right thing to ask him, and a little off topic for him, answering the straight up baseball questions. And, he has become obviously a fan favorite.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy to see. He's traveled so much. I mean, he's been on like every team in Major League Baseball, it feels like, at this point. He's been around for so damn long. To see him come to LA and just really, I can't really speak for him, but he just seems so at home, like he belongs. And this is probably one of the first times in his life he felt like he belonged on a team, and that he earned his spot on the team, and that his spot on the team was there and ready and waiting for him. Mm-hmm. And to have these really this cult following, across social media is just, it's awesome to see. I hope he stays the Dodger until he retires, and I hope he's back soon and just brings that fire back to the starting rotation, man, because he's got that passion.
Awesome stuff. All right, Tim, thanks for giving us some time tonight, and
cool.
We'll try to throw a couple bucks your way to send you out and go check out his next start wherever he's at, because they still haven't announced where he's going. But
and people, go see him if he's in Rancho Cucamonga. Go
see him, man. Go see him. That is worth the price of admission right there.
All right, Tim.
It is.
You have a good one, buddy.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, man.
So before we get to the next segment and a little bit later in the show, guys, we're going to replay our wonderful interview from earlier today on KTLA, because, we're living that
wonderful,
that Gucci broadcast television life over here. But we got some more reactions just from that conversation on the stream. Carlos bringing up that Kershaw's lost his velo. What do you think it could be? Age,
back, etc. I've also lost my velo, in case you were wondering.
Injury in this case.
Yeah.
Charles over here says that Dick Mountain is the man. Yes, 100% Dick. Dick Mountain is just gold. Rich Hill. David says Rich Hill is a class act. Love this man. And says also, expands upon that, says it makes me cry every time he approaches the mound. I don't know if it's that emotional of an experience, but, I get it.
People also cry when I approach the mound, but that's because I'm going to give up the game.
So Jason on Facebook says, I think the Dodgers are just buying time to watch the others like Urias get that starting role position. I mean, 100%. You want to build that sustainability in the rotation with cheap prospects that are exceptional, of which they can do. They have, obviously, Buehler's going to be, we'll call him cheap for a while. Urias still has another year or two before his first arbitration year. And then going into this question, we have Jonathan. Any prospects to look out for this season? We've touched on it a few times, but it's always fun to talk about some of the guys in the system. Talk about. Well, we know who our number one.
We know
is.
the guys we want. We know the guys we want.
Our number one is very much, but the people that can really get us something.
There's Dustin May, obviously. Dustin May is
so looking forward to that.
I mean,
kid.
if you're talking as close to Walker Buehler as you can get in just raw talent, I think that's going to be the guy. And I mean, if you think a couple of years into the future, a starting rotation of Walker Buehler, Julio, and Dustin May, oh my God, guys, that is a freaking powerful starting three.
Good.
And moving on from Kershaw and Hill, as your starting two guys to those three guys is just like a huge change of pace. So we've got a lot of future with those guys.
Yeah, we have a really, really bright future in Los Angeles with just some exceptional arms.
Yes, we do.
One day you're going to see Gavin Lux get up here too, so you're going to have some middle infield talent. Our friend, we're going to get him on the show real soon. We got to just figure it out. But DJ Peters, who I think he's at AA this season so far,
and I think he's like 6'14" or something like that.
Dude, he is a very, very large boy, and he's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll see Will Smith up sooner rather than later. We'll see Keibert over the next couple years.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys,
and hopefully Will Smith this year, because
I would like to see Will Smith this year, especially if we can't find a replacement for Russell. If he can't come back, and he's older. I expect some injuries. I expect a couple IL trips for Russell this year. He's already had one.
My back is hurting just sitting here.
My back is hurting thinking about you sitting there. So
respect.
There's that. Yeah. Charles Hamill says, Tim is the man. Love his articles. We appreciate that, Tim. Or Charles. Tim, great writer. Has some great stuff.
Tim, too.
Great opinions.
Yeah.
Usually the right opinions, in my opinion.
Follow him at SD Dodger, like you guys did see on the screen. So Taylor asks, did you think we would see vintage Kershaw? I'm assuming it means, are we going to see him next, the next start? Do you see vintage Kershaw more like we did the other day this week? Do you think his next start will be somewhere in line with what we just saw?
I don't really think that was a vintage Kershaw start.
No. That is current vintage Kershaw.
That is current.
And also, he hates that terminology of vintage.
He doesn't like anything.
Yeah. That would be calling attention to the fact that your boy old.
Your boy is old.
He is a very old 31, and I know that feeling. I'm telling you.
I don't really know what we're going to see from him, honestly. We talked about a little bit on Tuesday about how his slider usage is going to be a problem because eventually people are going to catch on to that. And if you know a slider's coming the majority of the time, a lot easier to hit, a lot easier to get it out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
You can't rely on we'll be generous, a close to 91 mile an hour fastball. You can't rely on that anymore unless you're painting the corners. He's going to lean heavy onto those breaking pitches, and people are going to know. So I hope for the best, but I'm expecting it to not go great.
It's probably not going to go so great.
Yeah.
Some people I've seen, we've had the questions about, like, can he just start throwing a two-seamer? It's like, no, he can't throw that. And or throwing a sinker or something like that. Like, sinker ball pitchers get by with just that sinker so often.
Well, yeah. I mean, Maddox got by with that two-seamer that ran down and in for so long, even though it only went he only threw it maybe 90, 92 miles an hour, somewhere in that range. And the older he got, it slowed down even more. But, I mean, he made his living doing that. And he wasn't the fireball guy. He wasn't anymore. And that was a lot later in his career.
Yeah, he always had that movement. Unfortunately, you're not going to get that out of Kershaw. No. So we'll take a couple more questions before getting to coming up still on the show. We have our tweet of the week, which I think everybody can't help but love because I love it. So that's coming up a little bit later in the next segment. In the next hour, we're not going that long. But again, we're going to replay our KTLA spot from today because it felt like hanging out with our buddy, Mr. Darren Horton.
Mr. Darren Horton.
And also keep an eye because I think we're going to be out there, be with them again on Wednesday for the next game. But still in the stream, we got to hang out here. Gail, friend of the show, Gail. Love seeing the Canada flags in the back. Of course, anything that gets given to us or gets sent to us gets right here on display. So guys, send us all your stuff. Give us your things. Send us the goodies. We touched a bit about it. Definitely hit it on the pregame, but we'll get it here. Gail wants to know, how about Doogie's April and that outfield assist was a game saver, 100%. That changed the momentum
100.
Until Kenley changed the momentum again. But did anybody, you guys, obviously you let us know, did anybody expect this kind of production this April out of Alex Verdugo?
I don't think they expected this high. I mean, he's crushing left-handed pitching, guys. In limited opportunities, mind you, he's crushing left-handed pitching.
It was like 600 or something?
He's like 600. It's not that many at-bats, but
that's it?
I mean, still, guy's killing left-handed pitching, and he's doing it in some pretty big situations, too. I love this kid, and I'm so excited that he's getting a chance to play more and more, it seems like, because at the beginning of the season, it didn't seem like he was never in the games at the beginning of the season, which made sense. I mean, they went with their starting lineup for the first couple games. They changed it up a little bit, as they're supposed to. You usually get those younger guys in when they don't have that much experience more into the season to give those older guys rest. Yeah. And then it turns out those younger guys are a lot better, and those older guys end up not playing. He's gotten into more games. He's looked awesome. He's crushed the ball. Absolutely crushed it. Your boy will not take a walk, though.
He will not.
He will not take a walk.
Like I keep saying, that's my credo or my motto or whatever you want to call it for Mr. Doogie. It's like, why walk when you can just rake?
Yeah. I mean,
it's better when you don't stumble through it, but, I'm just saying.
If he hits the ball out, he can walk around the bases. essentially.
No, you kind of got to jog because if
It's
you
a
walk
light
around the
jog. You have to
bases,
light jog to first.
if
for
you
a
walk
walk.
around the bases, then it's a showman thing, and then all of a sudden you got people throwing at you like that whole fracas. I think what was it in Toronto or something like that?
No, Chicago.
Yeah, that's right.
Chicago.
When you everybody's a long time top prospect that's really struggling still, pimp the hell out of a home run.
If you think that bat flip is bad, you should see me on softball nights, man. I chuck that bat 50 feet up in the air, and
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't,
Producer
want
Gary
a guy
wants
bat
us to
flipping,
know that he can bat flip with the best of them as well. Like I saw it.
he
I
just
saw
chucks,
it.
overhand chucks it.
Wait, did you got a few home runs, right? Oh yeah.
I said, of course.
Sidebar. So we did a little DN challenge. We should have filmed it, but we're having too much fun with it. But we had our we call him our accountant, Mr. Standall, and the bet was that he couldn't hit a home run on a it was actually a softball field. But we went to a little league field instead, and like the jock walk-off home run on Jackie Robinson Day.
Oh, where you're like
how he
pounding
was
his
like,
chest.
yeah, that's so gone. It barely got him.
cleared it.
That was basically Stan's home run. It took him like 15 minutes to get there, and I coached the hell out of him. But Stan made a home run happen.
What'd you tell him? Swing harder?
No, I told him, hey, actually watch the ball. And shout out to producer man Gary over there for being an exceptional Kershaw himself. He was the batting practice pitcher, so that's another one. And then, so like I said, it took him however many pitches, and I know this is super exciting for everybody. However many pitches, barely cleared one over, and then second pitch I get from Gary, I just tank one like double the yardage of that thing,
man.
triple the yardage. It was so bad, so I apologize to Stan for making him look so incredibly bad.
What a jerk, dude.
I'm just a bad person.
I
at
will
heart.
say this: if you don't want somebody bat flipping on you, don't give up a home run. That's my opinion on that.
These are very excellent points. Rob says, great show. Watching from Napa. Thank you very much, Rob. We do
I would like to
appreciate
go
that.
take a Napa.
Yeah, it's been a long day for us guys, so we're running a little bit lean, but we're having fun with it. We do got to remind you at this point in the show, subscribe to our podcast. We're on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere podcasts are found. You're going to hear that again towards the end of the show, but it's always a fun reminder. Tell grandma.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about grandma in a while.
You can also, as you're doing right now in this very moment, obviously, if you're here and watching and hearing this live, interact with us live every single Thursday on Twitter, on Periscope, on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube. And you can always find all of our great content on DodgersNation.com, which is Tim, the guy we just talked to, is a couple pieces up there today. So
It's the home of Tim. I needed the
Is that
ding.
what that was?
That was a ding.
that was a different ding.
That was a different ding. All right, so you want to do KTLA first, or you want to do poll results?
Let's do poll results real quick.
Why?
I don't
Why?
know. Poll results are good. So we had a couple of polls. We had a couple polls up on our.
We
our
started
Twitter page.
our weekly polls that are basically judging the magic of the team and what's going on. And really, it's just, okay, we hate everything if it's bad, or we hate Dave Roberts if we've lost 6 in a row, and then we're happy with him now. We won 5 in a row again. But usually with the polls, obviously you guys know, everybody's here on the internet, and everybody's going to be more angry on the internet when something bad happens. But generally, cooler heads prevail when it comes to voting on something. On the internet, cooler heads prevail.
on the internet.
That's all I'm saying when
Not
it
in
comes to
real
voting.
life.
That's it. I'm going to walk away from that. But still,
Yeah, when the
DN
Russians
approval
get
ratings.
involved.
Dave Roberts. Are you surprised by this one? 51% said yes, that they agree or that they approve of his performance so far. I think in week one it was like 80.
To me, that read like I have no idea. Like that's what that read to me.
it was just kind
Because
of
there's a 16% no and a ungodly 33% undecided. Make up your damn minds, people. You're grown adults. Come on.
yes, no, there's no undecided. I mean, some of them are grown adults.
Oh yeah, I mean it might be kids. I actually don't know. We have a lot of different followers. So
Adult-ish.
I don't really know what you're really questioning with the job he's done. I think the only thing you can really question is his decision to go to the bullpen as often as he does. One thing that you brought up was his decision to give Joe Kelly multiple innings, which I would agree with. I
Every
did not
single
appreciate.
time, though.
Did not like that. So I can understand why you vote no in that sense. But other than that, I've really liked what he's done mixing up the lineup every day. A lot of this time last year, people hated the fact that he was mixing up the lineup so much, but this year it's proving to be extremely effective, in my opinion. One thing I would like to see from him, though, we already talked about it, but get Alex Verdugo in the lineup
More Doogie.
I swear if you don't get Doogie in the lineup every day, I'm going to come down to Dodger Stadium and tell you to do that. That's my threat. I'm going to say do it.
Yeah, and obviously the bullpen, most people, resound 86% no, don't approve of the bullpen right now, the bullpen performance, which I get. Especially at that time. The bullpen had been the Achilles heel of the team to start the season. That's how it was. However, now you're going to start to see that bullpen get better, like we've mentioned.
This was probably the most surprising number to me, though, and this is a little... You're talking about the offense. The question was, do you approve of the job the offense has done so far? 70% said yes, which I thought was low. 10% said no. How do you not approve of an offense that's just crushing it? I mean, putting up a ridiculous amount. I understand the St. Louis series looms large, and that was kind of tough that they weren't scoring runs until the last game, and then even then the bullpen couldn't hold it together. I understand that. This offense is ridiculous, guys. I mean, we just broke the record, by the way, today for most consecutive. Oh no, that's home games.
That's
Never
home
mind.
games.
Damn it! But I think they have like 39, 40 home runs.
Yeah,
Something
they
like
have
that. 40 home runs in like.
They're definitely pacing the NL, unless they're not. But
big time they are. Big time they are. Yeah.
Janae over on Facebook says, "Let Verdugo play." Definitely agree with that. I think nobody in the world can we just let's just do softball rules for 10 players.
Let the kid play.
Let the kid play.
Let the kid play.
No. One of the OG friends of the stream here, friends of the show, Vicky. I think Vicky, if I'm not mistaken, won our first ever giveaway that we did for Blue Heaven. So thank you, Vicky, for hanging out. She listens on Stitcher, which is another fine medium to listen to this lovely show.
That is a place that you can hear us.
Santiago says, all the Verdugo haters, I bet they love him now. 100%. How could you not love him with the song? Like, the walk-up song is We've been torturing producer T with that song by just playing it so much.
That song like
that's her most favorite song now, because we do that and then we just do the yelping, and it's so great. Jess, wow, what's going on over here, Jess? Like, this is the first I think I've seen of you in here. It's very rude, but Jess says, teach me how to Dougie. You know, I was just teaching our producer Gary's son how to Dougie earlier, because he could floss with the best of them. Like, that kid, he just stares deep into your soul while he flosses. It's really good, but I taught him how to Dougie.
He takes your soul.
It's a really good way to stretch out your lower back, too.
How do you Dougie? I don't even know what a Dougie is, to be honest.
That's the one where you're like, oh, that's the Bernie.
I
don't know. I was teaching him how to Bernie.
Oh, you like go like this or something?
It's the Macarena, but it's updated.
That's where you hit the.
No, that's a
too
whip.
Many dances
that's a
with
whip.
You dumb kids.
Tina, I'm assuming we're talking about Verdugo. Tina, he didn't show this last year. Hope he's able to keep it up. They will need him. He's not going to be able to keep up what he's doing. Verdugo, absolutely not. The boy needs to walk at some point.
He's not going to hit 600 against left-handed pitching. I'm telling you that.
Absolutely.
If you don't walk, you're not going to have a close to 400 on base percentage either. I'll tell you that, because he's not going to maintain a 375, 380 batting average or whatever he's at. You need to walk, kid.
Yeah,
you'll learn. You're gonna learn soon. I don't know. D. Gordon's made a career out of it.
We have a very, very important one here. We got a shot caller saying Julian, what? Saying Dodgers will win over 100 games this year, which is above our predictions.
You called me crazy.
I can't have. D. Jimenez says, let's go Dodgers 100%. CK, I know you told me your name. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But Sickle Gloomis 1 says, didn't see the bottom of the ninth. How was Kenley's velocity? I had a hiccup.
He got one pitch at 95.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's pissed off. So.
Yeah, he eventually did get up there, but homeboy was angry.
Yeah, he's a little upset, guys.
What else we got over there? I've seen some sumps on the Facebook there.
We got a little bit. Santiago, I think you mentioned him earlier. He said, I've been asking for him to play more since last year. He was hitting like 385 in AAA. Alex Verdugo himself said, I've pretty much torn apart minor league pitching. What else can I do? He was a little frustrated at the time. And since then, we've seen him grow a lot. I think his interview with Alana Rizzo, the one after...
I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot more maturity. I think the most maturity I've ever seen from him. He gives a terrible interview because he's not used to it yet. He's young, guys. I mean, he's not used to this kind of spotlight quite yet. But we did see moments where he kind of showed a little bit of immaturity, kind of like taking digs. Not digs, I guess, but being a little upset about the fact that he wasn't getting time at the major league level. When he talked with Alana, though, after the game, I mean, classy. Giving
he's
all
a team first dude.
Oh yeah, giving all the credit to Kike on beating out ground ball. This is when he had his first 3-hit game. Giving a credit to Kike beating out the ground ball at second. Giving credit to teammates getting on ahead of him and making sure that he gets some good pitches to hit. Giving credit to the pitching staff for getting the job done. The coaching staff for helping him get through some things. I mean, he's grown up before our very eyes, guys. It's every parent's dream.
Very smoothly said. David says, my guess of 103 games was at the beginning of the season. That just seems like a lot. Apparently, I've upset Jess because Jess says, I've been here forever. I apologize, Jess. I
knew you were here, Jess. I saw you come in earlier.
And our friend, Mr. Greg says hello. Thank you for pointing that out. So D. Jimenez does ask again, something we did touch on earlier, any idea when Hill or Ryu will come back? Ryu's coming back on Saturday. Hill is going to get another rehab start on Monday. Yes.
Lunes.
That's what it is. So let's go ahead. Oh, I did want to touch on H.A. Pollock's historic home run, like you were talking about, to tie the home run streak, which you're going to hear in this next segment of the KTLA spot. But the funny thing, or the unfunny thing about Pollock, that was 64 at-bats between home runs, because he had homered in the second game of the season. So it's funny what you do at the start of the season, how everybody's just, all right, whatever, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with them existing right now. Anyway, we're gonna plug this in. We had some fun again today with of course, anybody who had an opportunity to see the game, which you had to enjoy on Channel 5. They only have 7 more games they're going to show on Channel 5, KTLA. And our friends at KTLA came here into DNHQ to again today, our second time hanging out with them, doing a pregame show with Mr. Darren Horton. So let's give that a little look and give that a little listen, and then we'll be back once that's over.
And don't forget, tonight's game against the Brewers is one of 8 remaining Dodger games you can see right here on KTLA 5 after tonight, our next broadcast this coming Wednesday, when the boys in blue travel to Chi-Town to face the Cubs at Wrigley. It's all thanks to our unique partnership with Spectrum Sportsnet LA. And time now to talk a little Dodger baseball. It's our pleasure to welcome in Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith from DodgerNation.com, which is a must for Dodger faithful. Guys, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the overall assessment. We've had a pretty good sample size now. What do you make of what we've seen so far?
I think the narrative kind of feels like they can't beat the playoff contender teams. It seems that way. But either way, if the team feels good, they're just trying to figure out who they are in 2019. Obviously, last year is a team that relied so much on the home run ball, and while they tied that consecutive home run streak just yesterday, I wouldn't call home runs their only source of power this season. That's pretty good. The team can hit. Unfortunately, they just can't really out-hit bad pitching, which was the struggle for a little while.
All right, what about Clayton Kershaw? He is back. He threw 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 6 Ks, no walks. Did he look like the same old Kershaw to you? And what do you think the Dodgers can expect from him this season?
I think the thing I will say, first of all, is he is 100% not the same Kershaw at all. And if you look at his pitch usage, I think that's a really telling sign of it. For the first time in forever, he used his slider. He didn't really go to his fastball very much, but he did throw a lot of first pitch strikes. I think 18 of 24 or something like that with first pitch strikes, but definitely not the same Kershaw, but a lot better looking. He's healthy, and if he's healthy, we can get that bullpen healthy quicker.
A good outing for Kershaw. In your latest fan poll on Twitter, you asked if this bullpen is living up to its potential. The Dodger faithful voting a resounding no. I'm wondering, with Kershaw back, Ryu coming back, Hill coming back, how do you think that domino effect's going to help the bullpen?
I think the domino effect has kind of already started. Stripling was the leader that sort of started, got the Dodgers out of that skid, and now there's 4 straight quality starts. That's been big, and that's helped the bullpen. That's been huge. I think they have an ERA around 3 since that started, but more importantly, they're not throwing 2 or 3 innings a game. So we go with that, and now you get Kershaw back. You got Rich Hill coming back. Of course, Ryu starting this Saturday. A lot of different moving pieces. Stripling probably makes his way down to the bullpen. Urias down to the bullpen at some point, and it just really strengthens the back end of this game and that bridge to Kenley Jansen.
Walker Buehler finally had a solid outing yesterday against the Reds. He's been up and down so far this season. You think he's ready to take the mantle from Kershaw?
We've been wanting it for a while. We were really hoping he could figure out like the way to start opening day, and we were hoping he'd start every game in the World Series, but unfortunately we couldn't make that happen. But yeah, it looks like now he's finally gotten through that spring training during the season that he had to go through, and luckily him and Rick Honeycutt, looks like they found a little bit of a delivery or a mechanical issue in his delivery before yesterday's start, and you saw him, he looked exceptional yesterday, 6 in the third inning, 1 unearned run, so really, really excited to see Walker with Walker Unchained, I'm going to call him this year in 2019.
You know, last week we were talking about the hot start that Cody Bellinger had. A lot of people holding their breath when he got beamed on the knee. He looks to be okay. People are using this MVP acronym. What do you think's been so different about Belly this year?
I think one of the biggest things is he's not chasing those pitches out of the zone for the first time in probably his career, even his rookie year. I mean, but you're talking about a guy who's just crushing the ball, leading the league in average, hits, on-base percentage, OPS, slugging percentage, pretty much every offensive category that's out there. And the ones he's not leading in, he's second place, third place in, just behind the former MVP, Christian Yelich. So if you're looking at holes in this guy's swing right now, there aren't many of them, if any at all.
He's checking off all the boxes.
All of them.
Finally, I want to ask you about one of the young guys who is highly touted, and so far he's living up to the expectations. Alex Verdugo batting .600 against lefties. Is this a guy that merits more playing time?
I'd say just based off of his batting average against lefties alone, 100% it should merit more playing time. He is an electric kid who's just crushing the ball. He's getting on base. He's not taking his walks when they're coming, though.
Will not walk.
Will not walk.
You don't need to walk when you're raking, and this kid is just raking. He's getting his hits, and yeah, he looks exceptional. It's a fun outfield to see for sure right now.
Well, you can follow Dodgers Nation all season long on their site, DodgersNation.com, and on Twitter @DodgersNation and Instagram official Dodgers Nation. Their podcast, Blue Heaven, drops every Thursday. Guys, we thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we appreciate your insight.
The most important comment we've ever seen.
Tortillas.
Tortillas. Thank you. What is that? PJ 5313.
What is it? What is he referring to?
I don't know, but I'm down.
Did we say something about tortillas on the podcast?
Jess, we love you, and let us know what you think about the canvas over here. But she says we've been fire on KTLA. Thank you.
Oh, thank
Again,
you.
we're gonna be back with them on Wednesday in studio, so it'll be fun. What else we got? Taylor says Kershaw will be better than last year for sure. That one for sure. What else? Power of the beard. I love that beard game. We got to make that shirt. Beard game.
Oh yeah.
Beard game strong. That's
that mangy, curly, patchy beard.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, it looks. I don't even know what that looks like. It looks pretty disgusting to me.
Mangy.
It's disgusting.
It's working for the kid. So we're gonna make that a belly beard. Is that what it is? Is that what you want to do?
Belly beard. You should get one where you put
patent pending. That's it.
A beard around your belly on the shirt.
I get it.
Like belly beard.
He's not
we'll say it on like the pocket.
He's not drunk enough, so that's unfortunate. But we do got to remind you. We want to remind you with that. If we're making shirts, why not go buy some of our current shirts? We do appreciate y'all helping us out. The friend of the show, Canvas is crooked. You're crooked. You didn't close the thing enough, so that's unfortunate. Now you guys know what's behind the wall. It's magic. But DodgersNation.com/store. Very, very important that y'all go to DodgersNation.com/store because anybody that's a friend of the stream can use our special promo code BHLive20 and you get 20% off. That wouldn't make sense if it was 25 with 20.
That makes sense,
20% off, and there's a lot of really, really nice shirts. You guys seen them on the stream. Obviously, they're kicking off down there, having a good time in the stream with shirts, the shirts themselves.
And if I see you guys at Dodger Stadiums wearing one of our shirts, I'll give you a sip of my beer. Just a sip, though. I mean, I don't have all the money in the world.
That
guys. I
doesn't
can't buy you a beer.
None of that seems like something anybody would want.
I beg to differ. I think there's a great group of viewers who would love a sip of my beer.
We got a friend of the show, Danny B, over in Oregon, in the house. Thanks for hanging out, Danny. I saw another one. Well, we have Joanna hanging in there. Needville, Texas. CMRN Riddle. I'm definitely getting that wrong. But Max Muncy's a 5-tool player. Changed my mind. Hey, dude's got wheels. He's got power. The arm is okay. The glove gets there sometimes. 4.5 tool. I'll give him 4.5. 4.5 tool player.
I'll give him a 4-tool player.
Janae says that buying that shirt once it's dropped, belly beard, make it happen. Make it happen. Jess says that's very gross that she's not in on that. But yeah, go buy some shirts.
I'm just saying, guys.
Next week, I think next week we're gonna give away. We're gonna do really special stuff. We didn't feel like doing the giveaway this week because it's tiring.
KTLA was here today, guys. We got no energy left.
Yeah, we were busy today, but what we're gonna do is I think we might set it up to one of these weeks coming up soon. Probably give away the whole package search. We'll figure that out. Maybe not. Yeah. But there'll be a game. You guys have to play a game, and the game is Pai Gow.
I think Danny's hitting on us on the Facebook comments.
Thank you.
Danny says I usually check you out on Spotify. You look great in person. We appreciate that, Danny. I really do appreciate that. I needed that today.
And apparently, I'm better on the name game here from CMRN Riddle. So thank you for hanging out. I'm way closer than our friend Mr. Bergman. But Danny listens on Spotify. That's one way you can listen. So it's about that time for the most fun. I've really been enjoying this. The tweet of the week. Cut 4 hit us with the tweet of the week this week, and really it was Queen Sujo. Sujo, who of course was in I think we had her on episode 34, so it's been a while. We're going to set up something with
34,
her.
man, that was a long time ago.
Our buddy, we were over there at the Dodger Stadium on USC night, and we had a chance to run into Sujo, and she's ready. She's ready to come back.
What? Oh, okay. It's like to party.
We're going to make that happen. We're going to do a day in the life with Sujo. I'm telling you, we're going to make it happen. And we'll unveil it like that. But Sujo captured the magic. Cut 4 made it a little bit better. You can go and get that video clip going.
High quality.
Look at those games. Look at those moves.
High quality moves. I mean, you don't get those. I think you are automatically awarded those powers once you become a father. Like, we can ask producer Gary, but I'm pretty sure that's true. The moment you have a child, you're gifted those dance moves. Isn't he just like it's so funny how different he is on days he's pitching versus days he's not. I mean, you can't talk to him on days he's pitching, guys. Like, if he doesn't want any part of anybody. But every other day he's like a kid. He's having fun. He's like he's not 30 something. He's 20 something out there when he's not pitching.
So
he looks 30 something when he's pitching.
This was something I had saw on the internet, and I can't. There's no evidence anywhere to lead me to not believe that this had actually happened, but rumor has it that Clayton Kershaw and Kike Hernandez actually are experiencing a sort of like Freaky Friday situation.
How they accidentally switch bodies?
Yeah. When we went to them for comment, neither were available. So we're going to keep looking into that. It's very important, but we love the moves. We love the moves. Mr. Clayton Edward Kershaw with the fire moves, and maybe that's all he needs. Stay young at heart by acting like a goob, and then you drop the ball.
Just trying to kick it up in the air.
Way to go.
Now I don't have a ball.
I don't know what we're talking about over here on the stream. But you did get a nice haircut from Tina. It's all right if you're into that sort of thing.
Tina didn't cut my hair. Oh, yeah. Oh, she meant, okay, Tina meant I got a nice, okay. I was very confused by that. You got a nice haircut from Tina. I was like, OG Mike cut my hair. What are you talking about? That's the guy whose name. He has two eyebrow tattoos.
Of all, I'm just walking away from it all, but
I'm just saying. Yes. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate that.
We love you all on the stream, and we're going to properly love you in a second, which don't read too much into that. Jess reminds us, before I get into what I was going to say, grow a beard, hit homers, but I think one of the smartest people, the new smart people, the person like who understand what really sparks joy today is Anthony Ojeda 31 on YouTube, because Anthony subscribed. They subscribe to this show.
Anthony?
And you could do that. Because you can subscribe to Blue Heaven.
Anthony, you can have a sip of my beer.
Why are you trying to get people?
Look, dude, you go to Dodger Stadium, beer's expensive. We got to pitch in together. We're in this together, family. We got to do it.
You could have just said fam. The kids like fam these days.
I don't do that because I'm older than the kids.
David says, I love you, man. You know what? I love you, bromigo.
Who is he talking to?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's me.
I would say it's you.
Love you. Bromo sapien.
Santiago's got a lot to say. He says, this is why I'm glad fans aren't GMs. If you traded every player that is going through a rough patch, we would have traded many guys that are doing awesome right now. Belly struggled last year, no trade, and now he's raking. Same with Jock and pretty much every other guy on the team. I will agree with you that I think the default when a player sucks is to say, just trade him, get him out of my sight. There was a short time last year where people were like, maybe we should trade Billy. Maybe we there was a time.
We're always fair weather fans. That's the way we do it.
That's we live in LA. We're fair weather people. we don't go outside if the weather's not nice.
That's the way we do it. And that's the way we're gonna end this.
On the fair weather?
On the fair weather fans. It was a great point. I mean, people just lose their soup, as I like to say.
Lose their soup.
One thing goes wrong, and then, trade this person, trade that person. Hi, Kevin. I know my buddy. So
trade Kershaw.
Find us on the internet at DodgersNation.com. You can subscribe, like Anthony, be smart. Subscribe to Blue Heaven on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, like all the spots. Just Google Blue Heaven Podcast, Dodgers Nation. It's glorious. It's magical. It's delicious.
And we'll be here every single week, guys. We won't let you down. We are as consistent as rent. That's about how consistent we are.
SD Dodger, by the way, before you do that, the best ones are the DFA call. I do that all the time.
The DFA one. You're automatic. So DFA everybody.
Yeah. Drop a ball, DFA. Thank you, CK. Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Great job. Great job for hanging out.
What were you going to call Kyle?
His name.
Oh, okay. I got
Thanks for hanging out with us in Canada, Gail. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Who are you and who are all of them?
What do they call it? Great White North? That's what they call it.
Sure.
Canada.
You
can find us on Instagram and Twitter, or as the internet, as Clint so affectionately calls it. I am at Brook-Me3. This guy over here is at RealFRG. A huge thank you to our crack production team. You can also find them all over the internet at Tammy Tika, at ZJames_, at Mr. Gary Lee. Thank you guys all for your questions. Thank you for giving us something to talk about, and a fantastic evening.
Yes. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out, or as I usually say, we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.